Welcome back for day 5 of our trip to Spain. There is no day 4 because there was no adventure. It was housework, food shop, all the normal mundane day-to-day stuff because it was our first real day back in Spain. Day 5 is our trip to Rupit, and we went via the, and I apologise for my apparent pronunciation, the Besalú Bridge, which is phenomenal. So this is Besalú, and it's not a roundabout, but we have gone round this twice just to check out parking spaces, as you do. I'm not the best at parking, so this is Stefan guiding me in and helping me so that I don't essentially screw myself over, which is a very common problem that I have. This is absolutely beautiful. It looks like it should be in Game of Thrones. Another filling up video. I think logistics are a very important thing to talk about. So we probably fill up the bikes every 100 to 250 miles, which is approximately 160 to 240 kilometers because we're in Europe. And we probably take a break every hour or so just to make sure, little snack, little drink, make sure we're not too fatigued and we don't get too tired out. And when I say we, I mean me, because I'm the one that needs the constant hydration and feeding. I didn't actually put my bike into reserve on this trip. So my bike holds a total of 18 litres. 15.5 of that is the actual tank and 2.5 of that is the reserve, and I know I can do roughly 150 miles before putting it in reserve. I have everything written on a little note on my phone which tells me my tanks, my tyre pressures, my jets in case I need them, what kind of spark plugs and the gap for the spark plugs, and my chain slack. I have these on a note just in case I ever need them because I don't carry my manual around and I don't want to have to Google them. I'd much rather they were to hand. So all of this footage is filmed on an Insta360 One X2 that I have hooked up to my bike so that it is charging. What happens is when you press record, it records 29 minutes, saves that 29 minutes, and then does another 29 minutes, and it does that repeatedly. I have 1.5 terabytes of footage that when I came back, it was very overwhelming, the concept of editing that amount of footage, and especially lots and lots of 29-minute videos when we were riding for a good few hours a day. What I ended up doing is putting the footage from each day into a specific folder, so day 1, day 2, day 3, just to break the task up so it wasn't so tedious and mind-numbing. And when we got back to England, I purchased a Insta360 GPS button for my handlebars. Before we went away, I contemplated it and thought, nah, it'll be fine. When we got back and I was very overwhelmed by that footage, or sheer amount of that footage, I decided I was going to buy one of those buttons. And even though we haven't been on trips yet, I have played around with it while we've been riding through the city, and at least I am now prepared for the next trip, as with the fact that I only recorded the riding and didn't record any of the actual adventures themselves, like walking around Rupit and hiking up that thing that we went to for lunch. or just any of our day-to-day adventures that we do when we're at the house in Spain. We tend to hike up to the castle and then come down the other side and go swimming for a bit and then do housework. And maybe I should record some of that as well, so it's just not all bike stuff. But that wasn't my thoughts when I first went on this trip. It has been very eye-opening in what footage I'm lacking, how I can refine the process to make my life easier for editing. Before I go talk about the next clip, I just want to remind everyone that this is the most amount of riding I have ever done in a day, consecutive days, and I have a sore wrist and it did take its toll. Normally it is just my throttle wrist. As you could see, I put my throttle lock on so that I could rest it and not be so tense. But it was also my clutch wrist as well, especially on this bit of road leading up to Rupit. I was quite tense because there are a lot of bendy, mountainy roads, and they scare me due to my perceived capabilities that I have of myself. Any long stretch of road that I had, I made sure that I did put my throttle lock on and rested my wrist as much as I could. Just for context, a throttle lock is a bit like a cruise control, so you just lock it in place and it continues the speed that you're going at. Mine only came off Amazon. Highly recommend for long trips. This is entering Rupit. It was a beautiful experience. It was a change of scenery. I can't quite explain it or put it into words, but it was just different from anything I had seen previously. Please note this is where we should have gone into the car park. We hadn't actually seen that was the car park entrance, so we pulled over and Stefan went to find out where we could park and whatnot. I was just massaging my wrist, trying to make it a little bit easier on myself. It was a lot of discomfort. I wouldn't say pain, it was discomfort. One amazing fun thing about having a motorbike is being able to scooch past barriers. Always pay for parking, kids. So, in classic enduro tradition of these videos, I didn't get any photos, but I do have this little clip of Rupit. We climbed up a thing and sat at the top of it and had our lunch. There were a lot of tourists around, but where we went up to, nobody else was up there, so it was really nice and peaceful with a beautiful view. And like we came in, that's how we leave. So we had pulled over to, I can't remember if it was fill up with petrol or have a break. I think it may have been have a break because we were here for a good few minutes just chit-chatting. Stefan pointed out this lawnmower. that I can't explain what happened to me. I just became obsessed over it. It was just so cute, and it was cutting the grass, and I wanted to watch it try and get through the fence, which obviously it didn't because it's smarter than that. But yeah, I just was watching it. We were talking. I honestly can't even remember what we were discussing about it, but I was basically kept going, but it's so cute. I am an absolute moron sometimes, and that's me waving goodbye to it because we were gonna leave and it had turned its back. I do not know what my problem is sometimes. Does anybody else wave at machines and give them little personalities and little backgrounds and stories? Or is that just me? This next clip really restored my faith in humanity and to people in general. So there is traffic backed up. Stefan overtakes the lorry. When it's clear, he tells me to, and he gets in front of the next one. There's traffic coming the other way. Stefan is in front, and he is telling me when it is safe because I can't see past the lorry. The lorry actually pulls over to the side, flashes a light for me, and I get closer. I can see that it's clear after this car. Stefan has told me it's clear. And then he flashes me because I say thank you, and it was just a really nice moment of another vehicle, especially a bigger vehicle, being aware of me and helping me. So this was our last little break on the way back to the house. I actually ran out of memory card at this point. Anyway, this beach, I'm not going to pronounce it because I will butcher it, and Stefan's not here to help me with my pronunciation, is the first beach we all went to. I say we went on a trip on bikes. I was pillion. This was the first beach we stopped at when we arrived in Spain, and it's quite sentimental to me for that reason, and it's a cute teeny tiny little stony beach. It's very nice. Anyway, this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching and once again putting up with my ramblings.